How do I? See you met my faithful handyman. No! Not another one! I'll save you! It's what Batman would do! He's just a little brought down, you see, when you knocked. He thought you were the Candyman.
When I was young, I designed a machine to turn ghosts into paintings, and I traveled the world collecting them. That's horrible.
Okay. A quick shot. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that came out wrong. You're not helping. You're not helping your case. You're not making this any better. You realize that.
Oh, it was glamorous, I can tell you. The souls of the dearly departed who couldn't rest, and you just went around and you started turning them into paintings. You're a monster. Well, tonight, I'm going to invite the whole town over for your birthday party. Oh, Trevor, no! So I'd better start getting ready, shouldn't I? Where's my guillotine? Because that one door says, no, you need 2 stars to enter. I figured that was the door to the final boss. And apparently no. But then again, that was a week ago. I was very young and naive then. No!
Excuse me. Coming through. Sorry. Couldn't help it. I'm completely incompetent. Damn, I look good running in those heels. Ow!
Thanks to philosophy, all is forgiven.
And welcome, gentle viewers and listeners, to today's stream. Today's stream is in salutations and support of the not-for-profit organization, the Trevor Foundation. The Trevor Foundation gives support and a place of relative peace in the maelstrom that is, well, being a young LGBTQIA plus person. So, what the heck time is it? What is time, anyway? Let's call it 4:04. So, links are in the description if you or someone you know could benefit from their support. Also, and most of all, if you're in a position to donate something to that particular charity, that link is also in the description, or failing that, you can always just copy and paste, circulate the links, and give them a little bit of a shout out on your own. Because, let's face it, that's what I'm doing. Okay. And we are hanging on, waiting to start Chapter 2 of the Stanley Parable. As you may recall, last episode, we started out the Stanley Parable, in which the narrator was trying to be a dictator and then decided to torment me with the very idea that anyone could love a repulsive little scab like you. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you put up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Oh, well, that would be 12:30 p.m. exactly, Deadbone Standard Time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right. I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay, so... begin the game. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Indeed it
Stanley
is.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Every
And
year?
although others might have considered it so.
How long has he been working
Stanley
there?
relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley, aka Rex
And then
Tangle,
one day, something very peculiar happened.
fit
Something
perfectly
that would
into
forever
his little
change
place.
Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh
No
no!
one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Or very clearly
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I know, it took him an hour to notice that nothing was happening. I mean, he was just perfectly happy, living in his own head. And then he was like, oh wait, nobody has come by or sent me something to completely disrupt my basic joy of being left alone. Something must be wrong. Now, interestingly enough, notice that the time on the analog clock here also does not match the time that I entered in earlier. I find this to be interesting. Alrighty. I suppose I should do things now. Let me do things! Can I mess with this? Can I mess with this? Can I mess with this? No, no, no. See, it's a little different every time. So I'm always curious, what has changed?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All of my coworkers are gone. I'm free! Free! Oh, no, wait, I'm a cubicle worker. I am never free. That's just what they want you to think. Well, come on, keyboard.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think I may need a new keyboard, because it's acting so sluggish. Or maybe just new batteries? I don't know.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office. You make it sound so sordid. Yeah, it's like I push the button. No, I'm having my plucky duck moment. It's not your turn, it's my turn. Ah, push the button. Ah, push the button. Do 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 do. Yeah, the total nondescript, soulless, yet somehow almost but not quite upbeat music in the background. It kind of really makes the atmosphere on this. Surname, access. Ha. Let's see, no, Joe, doing 08. ME to access terminal 421. Enter your command email. Connecting to network, connecting to established. What is this strange number? Will you tell me you want the... Will you tell me what the significance of the number 112800 is? Internal clock error, please reset. Nice. I just love the level of detail, he said, turning off the machine. Alright, I'm replacing batteries in the key thing. The thing with the buttons that make go the... My internal lexicon has failed me completely. It's just fled from me now. I can barely communicate in any coherent means of expressing rational thought on a verbal spectrum. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Alright, the battery is almost in. Okay, new battery. It's a brave new world. I mean, it was a really cheap keyboard, so, I mean, if it turns out it's just giving way, I understand. But no, I think replacing the battery fixed it. Mind you, also very cheap batteries. It's a price I pay for being a miser. Oh, look, I hate Mondays. Gasp! Oh, somebody dropped their coffee. And notice all of these drawers are partially pulled out, partially left open. Obviously, some violent thing has happened. Be my Valentine. Just the little touches, you know? Everybody has their own mug. Let me in! Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, switching out the battery helps, but I think I'm gonna have to buy a keyboard that costs more than, like, I don't know, $1. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Well, we all know what happens next. Hey, what's this over
When
here?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, look at these cool drawers. Aren't these drawers cool? I don't have drawers like this in my house. How cool are these drawers? Check them out. Yeah, Garfield was here. You know, in my non-survium way, I kind of gave the narrator a hard time in a sense. I mean, he was horrible too, but that doesn't mean that I have to be horrible. Maybe I should cut him a break. Maybe I should go through the door on the left. Maybe I should do what I'm told. Just because I'm told to do it. Just this once. Nah!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
You bet I do, baby!
Stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Such an awesome employee lounge. It's got carpet and everything. Oh, look at these doors. I don't have doors like this in my house. Someday one of these doors is going to open, and I'm going to lose my frickin' mind. Oh, look. There it is. Just take a moment and savor. Oh, the break room. This is where I like to spend most of my time, actually. It's so soothing.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
You know it,
It had
baby.
really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Speaking of the machine still doesn't work. Ah! My life is over.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
And coffee
Really
mugs.
worth it.
#1 dad. Really cool mugs. I don't have mugs like that at home.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, that is awesome. Another I Hate Mondays.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Where are you? Where is that voice coming from? Is it from above? From my feet? Is it from all around? F U L Fuel. Aha. Someone who's proud of their addictions. And the coffee machine, which unfortunately I cannot use. Coffee nut. Ha! You have failed! Everyone knows coffees don't come from nuts. They come from beans! I win again. Alright, reluctantly I leave the soothing blue of the break room. Yeah, the narrator. He lives in you. He lives in me. He watches over everything we see.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Into the meeting room, into the truth, with no reflection. He lives in you. He lives in you. He lives in you. He lives in you. Yeah, I really liked Lion King too. I mean, it had its problems. A couple of them, but for the most part, I thought it was really neat. Left door, left door, left door. I must go through that! You know what? Actually, I don't must do anything. As a sign of the ultimate rebellion, I take the left door today. Because if you're just blindly rebelling, you are still, in a sense, being controlled.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, check out this ladder. This is a cool ladder. Where did they get this? I don't have a ladder like that in my house. I could use one, though. Maybe I'll steal it. Alright. I'm not sure what this is. Do you see that? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you? Oh, my sweet Aunt Petunia. Oh, this is so cool. Did you see something moving up there? I thought I saw something moving up there. I don't like that. I really should go through that door. But the button, I don't know. Can I resist? Can I resist the big, shiny, friendly, ever so jolly candy-like button? No! I can't resist! I can't resist! It's not my fault. I was
But
weak.
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
This is so cool. I've never been in this part of the building before. Even when they hired me, they were like, No, there's no basement or anything. Because I specifically asked. I was like, you know, does this place have, like, you know, a basement where there's no sunlight and, you know, nobody ever goes, and if somebody was to, like, have a, you know, a severed head in a bucket or something, it wouldn't be found? And they told me no. Why would they lie like that?
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Well, now I want to go through this door, because I can't. Whoops. Oh, there we are. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a new keyboard. As the old folks used to say...
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
I don't
It's
know.
clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Sure. Are there any buckets around here? You know, something that a severed head might be put in and would never be found by coworkers?
Left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
Awesome.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, cool. Wait. Well, that's not eerie or discomforting. Oh, cool. I get to go in the red room with all the pipes. I always wanted to go in the red room where all the pipes are. Maybe there's a bucket. Oh, look, this is so cool. Oh my god. This is where all of the... This is... Okay, this is actually very disquieting. I don't know about this. This is like... This makes me think of prison cells. .104 was fired, apparently. Oh dear. What was my number again? I never pay attention when people try to label their number me, and now it's coming back to haunt me. 2 something, I think.
No. This isn't
Wait, what?
right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close
Delighted
your eyes.
gasp!
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No, I want to go
And this
down
time,
here.
Suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
No, I
Okay,
want to go down
from
here.
the top.
I wanna... This time, notice he's skipping the starting narration. I think even the narrator is starting to get tired of this. Yeah, the room that had the unfinished dev textures in the other route. Yeah. Freddy Krueger, you in here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It means I'm
Stanley
free!
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Alright, look. I'm all about expressing yourself in the workplace however you can. Sometimes it's kind of a mark of desperation. I mean, there was a time when a gentleman was at a workplace, he had to be wearing a tie. He had to be wearing dark clothes, and so the ties became more and more flamboyant and stylish. And I like the fact that the flamboyant, stylish ties have kind of stayed with us, while at the same time, that level of desperation has for the most part gone. But, nobody needs to be working with someone who has a who farted coffee mug. Alright? I mean, not that fart jokes can't be funny. I myself have watched the occasional, oh, that bar keeps going up the more I turn this off. How cool. No, I want to turn you off. Darn it, I turned everybody else off. Why not you? You know what? That came out wrong. Can I try that again? Can we do another take? Oh, right, the left door. I got distracted. The coffee cups are different, too. Yeah, I don't think the Smile coffee cup was there last. But the, I like work, I just don't like my boss. That was definitely there before. Searching for secret doors. Come on, nice keyboard, right? The W is just not wanting to do its job. Wonder why I couldn't turn that other one off. Ah, there we go. Even the narrator is like, I just don't have anything more to say, man. Oh, now this is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors, all of them closed. I wonder why I couldn't turn that one off.
Wait, what?
This is cool.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
No, this is
Everything
fine.
should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Who, me?
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago.
Sometimes the characters take over the story, man.
Somewhere.
It happens.
Okay,
Come to peace with it.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Yatta! I want this one that's blocked off. Unfortunately, it seems to be blocked off. That's fine. You know what? I was going to take the leftmost door this time, so I'm going to take the leftmost door. Ah, man. Okay, I may need a different keyboard. It is really just not...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
No,
Okay,
it's
let's
fine.
give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah. What? Wait. Okay. No problem. All right. We're gonna replace the keyboard now. Okay. Now. Oh, wow. Look at this. I feel so free, so unburdened. I feel like I could...
Were gone. What could it mean?
Hush. I feel like I could just... Hush.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I feel like I could just flap my feet and fly. This is so cool. I feel like Namor with those little bird wings on my ankles. Yay! I get to turn things on and off. Hey, I got to turn it off that time. I guess I was able to position myself properly. Yeah, dude. Having a keyboard that's functional. Oh my goodness, it is making such a difference. Yeah, now I didn't see the try the box in chat in time. To which box are you referring, old bean? This one may, You know, 415 may open later, because it's not even responding right now. Yeah, I think it's just a cheap keyboard. I literally The box is irrelevant now, don't worry. But I wanna know! Oh, well.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
No, you're fine.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Oh, yeah,
Why
okay.
don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yeah, I'm down. It's interesting with everyone, everything is just completely disintegrating around his ears. Now that he needs an ally, the narrator is being completely cool. But I know that he'll turn on me the moment he no longer needs me. I mean, it's like, you know, typical suit for you, am I right? Oh, now that's interesting. Look at that. Dude, check that out. How very cool. Yeah. I bet there's exciting stuff happening over there. 425, huh? Yeah, and then 4B6. I didn't know we had a 4B6 working in the office. That is so awesome. Oh my god. What would it be like to be employee 4B6? I bet he's just rugged individualist who just doesn't take crap from anybody, especially the narrator.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
Ah, yeah.
Story. Here it comes.
Okay, I'm gonna sidle up to the story carefully here. Let's, using my strafing skills. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is comforting. This is good. Soothing. It's nice and dark. Now if something's trying to stalk and attack me, I'll see it before it sees me. Because that is how that works in my world.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and reach this upstairs.
Yeah, okay. I'm working at my job, I'm so happy, more boring by the day, but they pay me. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Although if I was working in an office building that constantly changed, like the stairs in Hogwarts or something, that would actually be kind of cool.
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
Woohoo!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Ha 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 ha!
Oh, no.
Yay!
I don't feel right about this at all.
What?
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Aw.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Right, I'm running away.
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, you don't. Aww. Pout. Oh, well. Is that an exciting bright yellow line? Yes! Yes! That is a bright and exciting yellow line! Look at it!
All right,
Look how
I've
bright
got a solution.
and
This
exciting!
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Trademark?
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is so cool. This is such a cool... Look at it! Look at it! Oh, wait, shiny. I saw shiny. Yay! I have control of my environment. I am mighty. Oh, wait, that's... Yes, the big, shiny, jolly, colorful line. Ooh, oh, look at it go. Oh, that is so neat. Shiny. Do. I still want to know how to get into, like, over there. That looks like an exciting place to be. There's lots of adventure over there, I think. Can I get in there? Locked. Ah, I feel like I'm in Wonderland. I go up to the door, and it's like, I'm locked. Well done, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. Ah, push the button. Okay, now that's interesting. This is okay. Okay, you know what? This actually leads to new locations, because I've been through here before. I've never been through here. 425? Why, this is a place I was wanting to go before. I cannot play solitaire. Just like in real life. Oh, noes. If your machine should slip a gear, push this button to help it clear. Doon, 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 doon. Your time card says your name is Joe, but we'll call you 630. Doon, 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 doon. I'm working at my job, I'm so happy. More boring by the day, but they pay me.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
That's
Or
what
to
I've
put it
been
another
saying.
way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by
Wait.
the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Well, that depends.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all
Well,
that.
I mean, do you
You know what?
mean...
I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Traveling music. Adventure! The unexplored territory! Ha! He outfoxed me. He made it a circle. They're going everywhere! How joyous! How exciting! I'm just thrilled to be here! Annual reviews? Oh no! Ah! Okay. What direction was I facing? I think that was the mouse. The mouse did that. Employee 432 peer reviews. Wow. Oh. Wow. That's a lot of peer reviews. Financial records! Personnel files! Accounting! How exciting can it be?
Wait, cut the music.
What?
Go back and look at that fern.
Okay.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I can't turn the fern off, though, so it's not shiny. Right. This is the fern. The Fern. The Fern. Righto. I was looking at something just now. What was it? Never mind. It's probably not that important. Okay, so...
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
I love the enthusiasm.
Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Wee. Oh, joy!
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Yay! We win! Huzzah! Behold the rapture of it all! We have well, we're, right, okay. Yeah, even the narrator is just lapsing more and more into silence at this point. Oh, well. I mean, he's not even trying anymore. It's just up to me now. Whoop. Hee. Yeah, the line is always trademarked.
Stanley, I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
There you are.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yes.
Cool. This all sounds perfectly doable.
I'm in favor.
We simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Indeed, why not? All that time spent going to school just to end up
Now,
following
yes,
rules.
This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Swords and sorcery. Okay, narrator. Look, Ooh. Yeah, here we go. I'm working at my job. I'm so happy. More boring by the day,
no,
but
not you
they
again.
pay.
Stanley,
It
I'd
broke
also like to
in.
veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Just don't acknowledge it, trademark. Doon 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 doon. I love the line. Has anyone besides me ever seen The Dot and the Line? Such a beautiful little animated fairy tale. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. I recommend it highly. Oh, and there goes the line. Up into the roofing and out of our lives. You will be missed, line. Trademark. You will be missed. Oh well, on we go. The adventures of office building adventures. Now it's time to take a break. Dun 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 dun. Don't go far or you'll be late. Dun 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 dun.
A choice. We get to make a decision.
I love
From
those.
Here, the story is in our control.
Delighted gasp.
Important, we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Indeed.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Yeah, take your
Okay,
time.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? Since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Oh.
Another victory for logic.
Oh.
Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
You know, sometimes logic is just what allows you to be wrong with a sense of authority. Oh well. Ah, the confusion ending. End up in another building. Narrator restarts the game. Third restart, fourth restart, fifth restart, sixth restart. Seventh restart. Let's see now. Sixth restart. Find the line again. Begin following the line. Time to make up a story here. Narrator restarts the game. No longer an office. Simply black space. Wander in the blackness. Find a bookstore. Get bored and leave. Oh, Stanley, I'm very disappointed in you. Narrator restarts the game. Eighth restart. Narrator is gone. After a long time, Stanley dies. No, that doesn't sound plausible. How does one become bored in a bookstore? That's not right.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to
look at how
restart
cool
the game,
this
what,
is.
eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
You can break the cycle.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
Fight your destiny.
Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Exactly.
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Exactly.
Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Exactly.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
I'm with you.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't
Good for you.
do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Good for you. Team free will.
Timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Yes.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
Haha.
How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Awesome.
okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
There's a chair.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Pour out a yellow one for the line. Okay, for the first time, I'm feeling a little sorry for the narrator. Like most tormentors, he is as much a prisoner as I. Yeah, the monologue I gave last session.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is really starting to feel
How
poignant.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm searching for secret doors. Reluctantly, I will stop trying to open, awaiting input. Input received. Cool. Reluctantly, I'm going to stop trying to open all the doors on as requested by the chat. But I will tell you, the yellow line! I knew you wouldn't abandon me! Come, we will find our way out of this purgatory together, you and me, yellow line! It's meant to be! It must be! It must be! It must be! Destiny! I will find the yellow line.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Yes, moving
But
on.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
You know the temptation to go down there again and see... Nah. You know what? I'm feeling kind of sorry for the narrator. I'm gonna go ahead and humor him a little bit. Oh, there's no branches past the button. Okay. Well, that's fine then. Hey, what's over here? Okay, I can't interact with this room at all. I can't even jiggle the handle. Sorry, it's all the years of playing desktop. It's my nature to search for secret doors. Really? Really? Nothing? Oh well. Thank you for your service and a long career. Glad you gave us your best years. Dun 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 dun
Yet
dun
there was not a
dun
single
dun
person
dun
here
dun.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You know, these whiteboards are fascinating. Yeah, who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of smear. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Just so you know, you must take a left toward Venture eventually if you want to see the spectacular bucket. I do want to see the spectacular bucket. But there's someone stuck in the broom closet. And I must get him out.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh good, well I'm glad that,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
aha!
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Why
All because he
indeed?
believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe
All
I
of my
am.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example,
don't know how
why
I
couldn't
missed
he
the
see
broom
his
closet
feet
ending?
when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
That
He
being?
just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I may as well.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, how cool.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Yay!
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself. Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I love how this is just folding back on itself like philosophical origami.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Dude! The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Okay. That was very foldy. That was all kinds of folded together thoughty stuff. That was very cool.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There. Oh, man. Okay, so... where was I? Oh, here I am. New content! But do I want new content? I do feel like looping back to the broom closet, actually. Although this new content is really tasty looking, and will it still be here? Will it still be here later? Because you're saying, like, the broom closet will be here later. And I don't... A new content. The new... That... I am the explorer!
New content? What does that mean, new content?
I want to go over there. Story of my life. Okay, I'm gonna try to stop doing that. I just keep, like, search for secret doors. Ironically, the one time that I went ahead and did what I was told was the one time I shouldn't have, with the broom closet. I would just like that irony acknowledged.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Neat.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, I could go over there. Oh well, it won't, looks like it won't take me over there, so, alright. That might be where I started, though, so okay. And the new content is Elevator.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet,
Elevator.
but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Elevator go down the hole.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or...
Search your secret doors, quickly!
All right, finally,
Oh, okay.
at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Righto!
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
Yeah, this is
It's as
it,
if
right?
the-
This is the whole game?
Okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
It's very, very white. Wait, what? The jump circle. Jumps remaining 36? Wait,
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
So this is it, right? This is the new content. I can jump now. I could not jump before. Jumping was disabled, but now I can jump. Look how I can jump. Woohoo! I can jump. Hey, can I jump over here too? No, but if I am in the circle, I can jump. Oh joy! Oh rapture! Oh joy and oh rapture! Really? Okay, I'm curious. Yeah, okay, we'll jump. I'm jumping. One of my first video games was Donkey Kong. I can be the jump man. This is kind of nostalgic. Yeah, nostalgic. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Sure. And now I can no longer jump. I tried so hard, it got so far, and in the end it didn't even matter.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Another elevator.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, Initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
Yeah, I enjoyed my...
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Izzy the Fool says, "Welp, I hope you enjoyed your limited jumps." I did while they lasted. But they left me wanting more. Is it always the same time here? Yeah, I can't jump here. Sigh. Ha! And the sign says, "Thank you for enjoying the new content."
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a giant sponge in the market for no reason other than to make an easy buck. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. My fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Friend? Since when were we friends? I still haven't forgiven you about my wife. Ooh. Yeah. I don't recall if I noted it before, but yeah, the starting office for the desk of number 427 has been getting progressively darker and darker. And now the exterior of that office has completely changed. The geography is vastly altered. I cannot read that.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Yeah, no. Oh dear. Yeah, I could climb back up that if I needed to. This is fine. Oof. Okay, apparently my character cannot climb up that. Does this texturing look familiar to anyone?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Our little secret.
Take a look.
Oh, that is so cool! Okay, narrator. You just made up for a lot. Just with this neat architectural thing that you've made. This is so cool. If this mystic archway with light and with carvings and images, and is that the outside? It's the outside with a cool triangular building and fences and I mean, sure, there's a phone.
The memory zone.
The memory
it's where
zone.
I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Oh, cool.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
What? Oh, okay, sure. I'll... Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
Ha!
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
Okay.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Our first kiss. My first car. The release of the Stanley Parable in 2013! Did you just take me into a gift shop? Audience Award, the Stanley Parable. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to Stanley Parable. Not for The Last of Us. In the category Story. Good times. Trip down memory lane. Smile because it happened. Stanley Parable demonstration. Can I make it go? Apparently not. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Nominee for debut game or game innovation or story. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Oh, and there's the picture from the ending I just got where he's dead on the sidewalk. Fittingly enough, right above the exit. Oh, there's a cool piano. And it's playing! How awesome! I cannot stray.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Oh, cool!
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
James Stephanie Sterling. Thank God for them. And should anyone ask, you're welcome. I think you're too hard on yourself, Narrator. And I think you're too hard on the game. It's not merely an empty husk of what it once was, I'm sure. Sure, it has some elevator content, but, I mean, you know. Ooh. Maintenance. Aw. The original remake. Wait, what? The original remake? Zounds? Okay. The door closes
Here's
behind.
another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
Oh,
It didn't
pshaw.
need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Okay, game. Tell me that you think that games adding new content is ridiculous without saying outright that, well, actually, no, you are saying it outright. Never mind.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh, you sound so
What I
old.
wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
The 2 doors. Remember the 2 doors? Back when it was just 2 doors. I remember 2 doors. Oh. Oh, now it's open. How cool.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Yay, exploring!
What's down here?
Interesting that the drink machines are everywhere, but they never work. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, the huge shipping boxes with steam on them. That's a nice touch.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. Can't even
Whoopsie!
imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Well... Uh-oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
there.
with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
Easy.
Funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I
Just
suppose I
stay
could write up
cool.
a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I'm sure you could think of a place to stick them if you really had to. But they're there. It's all right, narrator. We may have hated one another once, but I think we found a certain reluctant camaraderie with one another.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me.
Well.
Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
These
These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
That's all right. I'm here
feel
with you.
Like a failure.
No.
Like I let these people down.
No, never.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh no, here we are at the end of the pier. Well, sort of a pier, not exactly.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Just stay
Only
calm.
Positive reviews of the Stanley
Stay
Parable.
calm.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
Remain
Anything for
calm.
customer Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Let's just stay cool. Be cool. Be cool, narrator. Somebody tell that bitch to chill. Alright. Going forward. Here we have the huge blank room with the fenced-off section. In the fenced-off section, we
And
have...
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue.
You see...
And it goes something like this.
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so
You
on
see-
and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and here a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah.
very well.
We've eaten too much and it can't be...
Yeah, it's starting to repeat.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Can I go
Of
now?
course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button.
One more
The minute
time.
I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. It's just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my
The
goodness.
plant died.
There's someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak.
The door is
And you
gone.
think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
The door
Would you
is
think that
missing.
it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close.
Because you need an
I know
audience?
you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
And your
I
solution
needed there
is?
to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It
Last
was
warning.
the vessel
What are
I
you
needed,
doing?
Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
No. So, did the narrator die? Let's see. Now, according to the clock, it's 5 to 1. Yeah, the plant is well and truly dead. Fenced off section remains. But there's still no way of exiting. So here's my plan. Eventually, by process of entropy, this building will eventually collapse. The mortar will fail, the bricks will crumble, the lumber will rot. And when that happens, I can simply leave. Since there is no other egress, my greatest ally is time itself. And so we skip forward, yet again. What's beeping? I haven't skipped ahead as much as I thought I would. Okay, I'm just trying to find where that beeping is coming from. You know what? I'll just skip forward again. The building's still here and that won't do.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Oh, you're
Wasn't
back.
enough. They had to leave a pathetic little
Building's
thumbs
still
down
here,
review
though.
and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much. They said,
See you.
First,
Okay. Huh. Building's still here. No narrator. No shrill noise. Wow, this place is really well made. All right. Another leap forward in time, all time being relative. Here we go.
the end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I think we broke the narrator.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
That's fine. Moving forward. Still no way out. Wait, no, that's just fencing. Yeah, I keep thinking, surely, by this time... Aha! You see, the plan is starting to work. There was water leaking in from above to the rear. Now, I can't get out that way yet, but in the fullness of time, I will. Like a lich that has been captured by adventurers and placed in an indestructible bubble, I will simply wait. Civilizations may rise and fall, stars may grow old and die, but in the end, Stanley will live. Stanley will persevere. Stanley is all. Ha-ha! Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Yep, long as the building wears out before the button uh-oh. Okay, that is a possible flaw in my plan. But since the button revolves around generating a stasis in time, I don't think it's a major concern. This should be fine. Moving forward. Ha! You see that? You see that? Okay, I can't climb up there. I can't jump. But the principle is sound. I just need to be patient. Ah, excellent. Yup. Okay. Still not low enough for me to climb up. Still too much of the building is intact. But nature is reclaiming this place, obviously. And that means I'm winning. You cannot truly defeat someone who is simultaneously indestructible and immortal thanks to the power of suspension in time. Yeah, almost. Creepy things out there, but when I'm frozen I can't be messed with, so time to push the button again. Still not quite. Yeah, that sounds like either night gaunts or buy a key. No, night gaunts are silent. That's buy a key. Yeah. So the realms between dimensions are also breaking up. But the building is still here. This is a really well-made building. Well, the buy a key, don't see any reason to disturb me now. I see no reason to draw their attention. Push the button. Uh-oh. 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 Aha! Okay. The button is no longer functional, but there is a way out. Ha 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 ha! Yeah. The button finally broke. I outlasted the button itself. But now I am free to explore this strange new world. Boy, there really isn't much left, is there? Wow, yeah, nothing for miles. Is that smoke? If there's smoke, there might be a civilization. No, that may be clouds. Well, it took long enough that the entire biome has shifted in this area. Ah! What? I thought I was going to explore. No! No! Don't put me back! No! I want to explore the post-apocalyptic ruins! I want to find out what kind of bizarre mutants have inherited the world! Then again, it was all desert, and I did miss lunch. Yeah, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I want to get in there. I want to turn off the compy. Yeah, see, the fact that we have the boxes and all these papers spilled and stuff, coffee cups that have been, dropped on the floor, spilling coffee and haven't been picked up. The implication is that whatever happened here was sudden and involuntary. It's interesting to me that that's never come up in the narration, either Literally or metaphorically? Ha 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 ha! New content. Well, should I do new content? Yeah, alright, what I'll do, I'm going to check out the new content, but before I go, I think the last thing I'll do is I'll try for the broom closet ending and see if I can get that, because that does sound interesting.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
New content! Alright, I'll try to stop. Wait, what? Look, narrator, far be it from me to tell you how to do your job, but, are you sure about this?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original
Has it
Stanley parable
indeed?
was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to
Round
announce
plus
for
ultra?
the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
I mean...
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
You sure? I can't call anyone. Investor Showcase, the Stanley Parable 2.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
No.
Ultra Deluxe?
No,
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's
Taste the sequel.
it screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Wait, did you just shut off? Narrator? I think he just shut off. Lots of post-it notes, but nothing written on them. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sensing all is not well in the world of the narrator. Oh dearie dear. The poor fellow. Was I too hard on him, do you think? With all the skipping through time? I mean, by this point, if time is a cycle, I may have just looped right back to the beginning. And he had to be conscious through all of it. I imagine that does something to a person. Ha! More TSP, better TSP, win-win, sequential mindshare, brick and mortar approach, envelope, client-centric marketing, the color red! Yes, it is very red, definitely. Can I turn this off? I cannot turn this off. I cannot turn any of these things off.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay, alright, I'm down. I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're dropping. I'm, you know, detecting what you're eluding. I'm not sniffing what you're scratching, necessarily. Okay. Up the stairs. There's the occasional red artifact thingy. Okay, you've obviously put a lot of time in this.
Try out some of the new features.
Making no bones about the fact I'm locked in here. Alright. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That's new. Hear your name in the game. Well, I do think that eventually we're going to have stuff like that where you type in your name or the name of your character. And, oh, pardon me, please. And then, you know, it'll just be worked not only into the displays, but also into the spoken lines. Oh, there are so many choices to choose from in their choosiness. Collectibles. Please, no screenshots. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. A bucket? Aren't you going to check out the name button? Can I check out the name button? Huh, looks like I can check out the name button.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Freedom!
Of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with
yes,
that in
that too.
mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
I do feel
Isn't
that is inevitable.
Wonderful?
Push the buttons. Ah, I can try it here. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Huge arrow. Try it here. Name. Alright, is everybody ready for this? Is everyone ready? Because this is happening. Ready? Ready? Okay, here we go. Ready?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Okay.
Sleeping and waking as Jim.
I'm imagining.
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim.
Yes.
Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim.
Jim.
And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Okay.
Do you feel it deeply?
I do.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am so
if
Jim.
So, then please step forward and press the button.
I'm sharing my personal Stanislavski moment. And I, Jim, will step forward, in spite of all of the slings and arrows that life has hurled at me. Her name was Monique, and I loved her. But it was not meant to be, and she devoured another. Well, he wasn't specific, so I just assumed that Jim was a very large arachnid. Anyway, pushing the button.
Jim. Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush. That was
I
you.
feel so seen.
The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
With all of my 8 eyes, I feel so seen. Let me do that again.
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
So
Let's
worth
take
the
a break
money.
from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Oh, me too, baby. Me too.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much.
There can never be too much Jim.
Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
And then depression set in. And then there was dizziness. I'm not sure how that happened, but here we are. Poor Jim. All he wanted was someone to love him and devour him and know that he would be passing on his legacy to like 50 to 100 children. But it was never meant to be.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable.
There you go.
That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
I feel so heartbroken, though. I need reassurance. What's this? The Stanley Parable 2 reassurance bucket? I gymmed too close to the sun. I did. I gymmed too close to the sun. I need reassurance. Preferably in the form of a bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say
Only
that after
now.
much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine the pain in the ass that would be? The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
But will it give me comfort from no longer being Jim? In fact, was I ever Jim at all? I have to try. It may be my only hope to square myself with the lack of Jimness in my life.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Oh yeah,
And in fact,
I can feel it.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
And yet I am still undevoured.
Go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Sorry, I'm still not completely out of character. Sometimes when you really devote yourself to living a part, some part of you just will always be that part. It stays with you forever. I think some part of me will always be Jim, the heartbroken spider. I'm not sure I will
Does anyone
ever
give
recover.
out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
It should. It really should. Yeah, I intend to keep this bucket forever. I need a bucket like this IRL. This is a comforting bucket.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, with more and more people trying to bring back child labor, probably Happy 12th Birthday. That way you can be poignant and relevant.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
See, this is, narrator, this is why you fail to
Maybe I
achieve
should have gone with-
greatness.
No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
No, don't be afraid of the biting satire. All right, trust me. It'll pay off in the long run. Oh well. Office decorations, merch. If I go in the infinite hole, can I keep the bucket? New free and easy achievement. I love achievements. Free achievement. Get yours right now. 1. Pull the lever. 2. Receive your new achievement. 3. No more steps. It just works. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
It's Todd, this is for you. This is for you, Todd. For everything.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. The achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. I guarantee it will be fixed in secret to at last satisfy the hordes of rabid fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you.
You're stuck here. I take back everything that I said. I take it all back. I just like messing with things. Is the Fool says, guys, it's on the table. Oh, that was beautiful.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I have been asked to check out the QR code. But things keep changing. Is it even still here? There's merch. Give us more money. And the trees whisper a gentle no. The QR code is at the merch stand. Oh, doink. Yeah, right there. There's the merch code. The QR code. I don't usually pay much attention to them in real life. But behold the QR code. I can back up a bit. Like that. And it'll be a little less warped by the alright, excellent. Yeah, and anybody who wants to scan that, I held still for a bit in a couple of positions to make it just a little bit easier. Jump circle, infinite hole. Collectibles. It's the official Stanley Parable 2 website. Awesome! Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles.
Now it's a real video game.
It
In the
wasn't
Stanley
before.
Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. You don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
And apparently there's some really funny extra stuff at StanleyParable2.com. Am I floating? What is this feeling? I'm moving through the uncharted stars of my own destiny. Wait a minute. Wait. I sense treachery. Are these gods surrounding my tiny form and laying bets on how I will do, how I will live, and how I will die? It seems that way, but fortunately I have my bucket. I can face whatever dark cosmic truths may await. Yes, that is exactly what this is. And at the center of it, at the heart of it all, the Stanley collectible action figure. I got
God,
0
it
out of
really
6.
is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay. I think I'm ready for the infinite hole. Is the Fool says, those are the other gamers desperate for the validation of number go up. Distant past, distant future, time, depth, space-time, falling, whole-like infinity. I see. I see, very good. Yes, interesting, very interesting. Infinity. Infinity, falling, fall forever. Science! Educational use only. And this, of course, is the diagram of a theoretical wormhole if you view space-time as a living organism. Very interesting.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
You know, I sense there may be a flaw in your plan, narrator old boy, but, there's really only way to know, isn't there? The surroundings of it are so office-like, so enticing for the soul of the man who is known as Stanley and is definitely not a spider named Jim. Well, jump is still disabled. But when you stare into the abyss, what the hey? And
You see, isn't it wonderful?
Oh,
One of my more
such
ingenious
joy.
concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
aha. Press G to return to
Now,
the
I don't mean
surface.
to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay,
Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
You
Is it
didn't.
a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
Of course it is.
That sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
What?
From one perspective, the infinite
You
is
lied to
merely
me?
philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
I feel so
You
betrayed.
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Oh, don't
I
give me
figured the
that.
hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Oh no, don't you start that with me again.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
You're just
Why
like your
don't we
father.
Just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite. If that works for you, then go ahead and
Fine.
press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet. I'm still angry. You know, you promised me an infinite fall. You promised me infinity, very specifically. Honestly, if I can't fall forever, maybe I should just go back to being Jim. I mean, Jim was kind of messed up, but you know, he had promise. He was okay. You know, he was a good guy for a spider. But, well, then again, we've both known betrayal, Jim and I. We're not really that different. But, yeah, things were better when we were Jim. Because when we were Jim, we had a button. We had that acknowledgement. I don't know. I think the thing that's really pulling me through this, frankly, I think it's the bucket. I think it's the bucket. Yeah. I do remember buttons. I remember buttons. And yeah, the bucket will give me the strength to return to the surface.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I don't know, narrator. You sure it's not infinite? I mean, it could be infinite now.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
That's completely normal in a boy my age.
That's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah, it
I
kinda
couldn't help
did.
but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I
You
didn't
mug.
make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're if it starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I am starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep.
You
even
think?
by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length.
Life is uncertain.
Let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me.
Yep.
Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point.
You fail.
It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
No.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit
more
the
like
teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Yeah, it's like a dry kiddie pool more than anything else.
Is the, teleport button not working?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing?
No.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. I couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
You mean you're free?
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole.
Free! And so it is that the narrator is finally free. Oh, lousy, lousy, lousy. Oh. Oh my. What is it that the bucket and I have discovered? In finding the inner gymness of the narrator and the freedom that lies therein, have I discovered my own inner gym? Perhaps even the gym of the whole itself. Change my perspective, always. This is so beautiful. I have found the inner gymness of the infinite whole. And pressing to change my perception changes the music. Okay, each one of these, I'm like, I don't see this. There we go. Now that is a man who is on the verge of rediscovering his inner gem. Change your reality. Change my reality. Change my perspective. There may indeed be some gym within this man yet. Change myself. Oh, dude. Reality is dead, and I have killed him. Ha! I am the error.
Stanley?
Change my perspective.
Stanley! Oh good, you're awake.
It seems you had sort of dozed off there,
Aw.
drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Ha.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Dude, this is absolutely mind-bending. Behold the psyche of Stanley. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Ah. Mostly infinite hole. The button that says Jim. Well, where should I go from here? I know, we were descending into enlightenment and he interrupted us. Yeah, we were on the cusp of nirvana, it's true. Except, of course, with better diction. But the music was not as cool. Alright, let's see here. No. We want to go up there, I think. Ah, there we are. We almost met Kurt Cobain. So, alright, there's collectibles. Is there anything else in particular that you guys would like me to hit while we're here? Oh, settings world champion. Well, settings world champion we have not seen. And settings world champion is hashtag. Hashtag is... Okay, the achievement is Q. If that's there, then we need to go through that doorway and dramatically to our left. In theory. Oh, and also the jump circle, yes. Alright, you know, that map may have been lying to us, but I can't tell for sure because I'm terrible with maps. Alright, we need to hit the jump circle. Jump circle, jump circle. Notice that the bucket not only does the handle move a little bit while I'm carrying it, but it makes a little noise too. That is so cool. Alright. Jump circle! Now,
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
let's do.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Well, can I have
Well,
more?
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Aww. See, my jump is disabled. It said so in the start of the game. And we encountered the experimental jump circle early on, and I jumped and it was awesome, and they're like, oh, you used up all your jumps, no more. And just, you know, it's a good thing I have my bucket. Or I don't think I could handle the disappointment. Alright, let's see here. Epilogue and exit. So the epilogue is... Yeah, how do I even get there from here? So there's... So I guess I go... Yeah, there's the epilogue and there's the exit. So I guess I go around the corner of that archway there. And I should be able to just follow that wall along to find the epilogue, which, I mean, really, once you've used up all of your lives, what else is left? So here we are at the epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
It is indeed a grand epilogue. As we creep our way along with our assurance bucket. The epilogue. Free achievement down there. I guess that was the epilogue. And Settings World Champion. Since we're here, let's check out Settings World Champion. Which is locked. Narrator, come on! You're worse at this than Ned Flanders. Stone the crows. Yep, that's the epilogue. Holy moly. Okay. Open the settings menu. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got so into, kind of so into character, I was just like, derp-de-derp. Alright, Settings World Champion. Open the settings menu. Alright, so to do that I hit escape, I assume. Settings. Yep. Ha, you can actually turn off the narrator. Apply resolution. Anti-aliasing. Yeah, check every tab. Show subtitles is on, of course. Just kidding.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Of course it is. Sets the display resolution. Apply resolution. Well, I haven't changed anything. So I'm going to apply resolution. I'm going to mute the narrator. Resume the game. Nope. Whatever secret there may be, that was not it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So, what do you think? Do you think that the game is just pulling my leg at this point? I'm thinking that, I'm thinking the narrator is just kind of pulling my lariat at this stage. Yeah, the game's pretty simplified. I think it just makes it so that I don't have to push given buttons to get different responses on cue. Yep. Need to set the bars to every individual value possible. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what that does then. So, gameplay, field of view, camera sensitivity, invert Y. Okay, controller vibration off. Invert Y is not a bar. So hopefully I don't need to mess with that because I hate inverted Y with a passion. Every number from bottom to top, every bar. Oh. Very well, for you. For you, my gentle viewers and listeners, I will do this. Do they have Latin? They don't. They don't. They have Espanol, they have Francois, Italiano, Espanol. Every number from bottom to top, every bar, not check boxes. Oh, okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, cool. Audio.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, there's nothing here. Controls. Okay, so it's just sliders. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see if that does it. Let's see if that does it. Okay, that didn't do it. Oh. Okay, when you said every number from bottom to top, every bar, I thought you meant every bar that is denoted by a number. When in actuality I have to do this. Okay. That's very different.
Story.
Okay. Now then, with that little miscommunication out of the way, okay, did I just skip over one and not realize it? Oh, there's more of these. Aha. Okay, now. Okay, I'm still missing something. Yeah, I, check show translation tables. You know? Accessibility. Yeah. Aha! There we go. And now resume the game. Okay. And it doesn't open the door. It just... Yay, scientific progress! It literally had a little thing pop up in the corner saying that I got an achievement for it. And that was it. It was totally just trolling me. There is nothing to this door. It's just there to get you to try to Google it, figure out what to do, and then mess with all the sliders. That is literally all it is there to do. Well, according to the little pop-up, I got the accomplishment. Oh, now it opens. I had to walk away.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen.
Joy!
So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something
Rapture.
called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later.
I'm sorry, what?
I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
What? I have mixed feelings about this. Bumpscosity. Bumpscosity? I'm curious. Bumpscosity. Bumpscosity. I'm setting bumpscosity up to 1,000. Let's find out what bumpscosity does. Not much. I can't even jump. Bumpscosity. I have maximum bumpscosity and... enjoy this room. It is made just for you. You know what? I'm going to leave bumpscosity set at 1,000. It is my bumpscosity. I earned it. And I'm going to enjoy my bumpscosity set up to 1,000. So there. And if it does something, we'll find out later. Let's see now. Really, I think that the exit is all that's left. I have only one concern. One thing that kind of haunts my vision a little bit as I contemplate it. If I leave, will he take the bucket? I don't know if I can face the world without my bucket. I need my bucket! Just tell me that he won't take away my
Have
bucket.
you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Can I keep the bucket? He might take the bucket. No! I hold on to my bucket as tight as I can. It's my
Stanley,
bucket.
What do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Let me keep my bucket.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
There is.
Let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Don't take my bucket!
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Maybe it is.
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
The narrator is just a desperate...
Would it possibly work?
Is just desperate to express himself.
It would need a really tremendous title screen.
A truly starving artist.
A screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Oh, do?
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. The Stanley Parable 2. Okay. That is a really cool looking opening screen. I have to give you that. Right. Settings. I still have bumpscosity at 1000. Okay, yes, this is a good game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
We're skipping that. No offense. And he took my bucket. No! Okay. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Get well
Perhaps he
someday.
had simply
The
missed a
balloons
memo.
are here.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I miss my bucket. Ha! Little cordon off section. Curious. Ah, there we go. No, my bucket!
Stanley went around touching every little thing.
No, I just want to turn off the
but it
compy.
didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Yes.
Why was he not doing it? Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, the bucket! I have the bucket! I has the bucket. Very nice little ionic pedestal, too. Once I was able to clear the tears of separation from my eyes, I was able to see what was in front of me. But it's often that way with true love. We're reunited with
Stanley
the bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I love the get well someday balloons. That's a nice touch. Okay. I'm going to see, because I need to be alone with the bucket. And to do that, I need to find the broom closet.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes, the bucket.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was
Yes.
it better than the meeting room?
Yes.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
The bucket
How
is never
insightful
wrong.
The bucket turned out to be.
Praise the bucket. The bucket is never wrong.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
But I will take the door on the left.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Let's see now. That's weird how every now and then the mouse will just spin for no reason. Okay. I need to find the broom closet. And I know it's going to be rough, but that's okay. I think it's
Still no
past
one
this
was
point.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
It can't have it.
Clear as day, this broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
It doesn't.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what
No.
the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley.
No.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Never.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
I will be.
This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't
I will
let it
persevere.
go. Oh, no.
No.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of
It's
reasons.
petty and
But even
mean.
This is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Oh, you
That your
bitch.
relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
You're
That
just
your life
jealous.
is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
No.
Well, I'd never.
Lies.
Don't, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
We've been together
Go
through thick and
each one
thin.
Point by point.
The bottomless,
Share your journal entries detailing
almost
the rich
infinite,
emotional landscape of
mostly
your feelings
infinite,
for the bucket
finite
as they've
hole.
changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
It helped me find my gymness.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Yes!
There. Now it's settled.
Ah!
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Indeed.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Yes.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There
Ah,
really isn't one
it's a bucket!
applications for this sticker.
I feel at peace. Yes.
You know what? I
This
could
is right.
take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment.
Oh,
And to
isn't
be
that
honest,
just like the
I'm
broom
sick
closet?
of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Indeed. Yeah, the broom closet can't even argue with the facts anymore. Exactly. I mean, even worse than the name calling and the jeering. In a way, even worse than trying to impinge upon the sanctity of our relationship. I feel the worst thing that the broom closet did was the whataboutism. I think that was just, I mean, that really showed the weakness of its position. And I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Well, yeah, the armpit noises were crass too. That was completely uncalled for. I mean, what the hell? And you know, I didn't have to come here. You know, I'm the one doing all the heavy lifting in the relationship between myself and the broom closet. Well, I guess there's no relationship now, but I was always the one who had to seek the broom closet out. Ah, yeah, I know. That's just awful, right? It's just, you know, you're trying to have a philosophical argument with somebody, and then they start pulling that nonsense, and it's just, there's never been a point that I have not been completely disappointed by the whatever type of utility room was doing that. It's just, it's inexcusable, is what it is. It's inexcusable. Yeah, I think you're right. The broom closet is really so toxic. I'm shocked I didn't see it before. I'm a little mad at myself, actually, that it took this long for me to realize that the broom closet really isn't worth our time. I know, and it's not about the frickin' mops. Oh, what about the mops, though? No, it's not about the frickin' mops. We're talking about the mops. We'll be talking about the mops. We're not talking about the mops right now. The hell is wrong with you? Can't even have a civil discussion anymore. You know what? I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. I don't like being the one to walk away. But I think we're done. I mean, I'm looking around and I feel like I've given everything. I've gotten nothing in return. And sometimes the time comes that when you step back, you realize that the utility room that you have been investing so much time and emotional energy into is really just it's just empty. Yeah, I appreciate you understanding. It is kind of a sunk cost fallacy. When you're like, oh, well, I've spent so many years with this closet. But you know what? Yeah, I think the time has come to just leave the closet behind me and get on with my life. Over a decade, yeah, I hear you, man. You know, sometimes it takes a while, especially if it seems like they didn't start out that way, you know? Yeah. Yeah, we deserve better than a broom closet's selfish and toxic behavior.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And so... here we go. With our heads held high. Oh, should I go downstairs? What do you think I should do? The boss's office is here. Is there something unexplored in the downstairs? Because there is something shiny about the idea of exploring the downstairs with my bucket. Ha! Ah, but here, look at that, a collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yay, a collectible! Alright. Since I'm getting ready to... I've already had this particular run last longer than I was anticipating. I'm tired. The narrator's exhausted, and the bucket is just being a champ, but I don't want to ask any more of it than I already have. Yeah, I don't want to be that friend who's just always sucking you dry, you know? So I think we're going to round off today by actually going to the boss's office. Oh. Wait, executive bathrooms. Ah. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Another collectible!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Well, we could just call them stands. There was an amazingly bizarre anime for a while that revolved around people's relationship with their stands, I think, and some of them were quite powerful. Although there were a few that were kind of broken. Yay, input received. And here is...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Ah, the bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
The two of them were inseparable.
Yay.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Ha!
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes,
Was the
obviously.
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
What a fascinating choice of portrait. Just the symbol of his power, but no face to actually lend an identity. That's pretty on the nose, actually. Interesting. I wonder what new spore of madness might this be? Ooh, another collectible.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Oh, definitely Figlies. Okay, into the creepy elevator.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Oh, the bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him,
My dear friend.
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
I am so
The
all right.
bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Ah! Yeah. That's all right. Just stay with me. I know you're not like other buckets. We have a
Stanley
proper
and the
love.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No, they didn't. Well, maybe they did. The temptation to run away is very high, but if there really is a mind control facility, or there's escape. See, there's escape. And escape is awesome. I can also theoretically run back the way I came. But if I enter the mind control facility, I know, with the power of the bucket beside me, maybe I can shut it down and free everyone. If I run away now, will I ever truly be free? Will the bucket ever truly be free? No! By carbonate of soda, I must see this adventure through to the end. Say what? All right. The more I find out about it, the better I could destroy it. Yes, our bucket will protect us.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Gosh. Even here, there's a coffee mug that says, I hate Mondays. Employee observation protocol. I can't quite make that out, but I'll hold it still on the screen so others can.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
We're here for each other. No, indeed, we shall not be swayed. With the help of Bucket, we will liberate all of these poor people and ourselves.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Feeble? Excuse you? I'm not feeble, I have a bucket.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Cryptid Rhea says, I just realized the narrator finally understood how to engage with Stanley and get him to participate in the story, playing into their ludicrous and mimi nature. It's sort of like a teacher realizing that their student isn't learning anything from their way of teaching. They need to engage the student on their level. Mayhap. Mind control status offline. That one has a button, but I don't know that I want to turn the mind control on at this juncture. I think what I want to do... Oh, look, is that a finitely deep hole? Mind control status offline. Yes, but how do I destroy it?
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yes. Those tape readers look so angry. Can I better destroy it by turning it off or turning it on and then setting it to self-destruct somehow? I'll try turning it off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy.
Yes!
Freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Ha!
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, and go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
No!
An attractive tone in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
The end is never the end, is never the end. And so it is that we find ourselves to the end that is never the end of the Stanley Parable. I hope that you folks have enjoyed playing it, watching me play it at least, as much as I have enjoyed playing it. I get the impression that there's quite a bit more content that can be explored, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and step away for now. The concept of Whiplash Weekends once again is calling to me. I'm thinking perhaps alternating between, as close to the normal ending as we've seen so far. Yeah, I hope that the normal ending is a happy one. I hope that Stanley does find some kind of closure. One of the things I was concerned about there was whether they would have it that Stanley would leave the bucket behind to pursue his own freedom, and I'm glad they did not have him do that. Better to stay with his bucket. And so, starting this coming Sunday, we're going to get back to some Whiplash Weekends, and if all goes as planned, we're going to be seeing some detective action, as well as a little more action in the lands between. But before we go, I'd like to take this moment to thank all of our buckets, present and future, with special thanks to Cryptid Rhea and Guinevere, and most of all, special thanks to my personal savior, Laughing Gremlin. This channel could not be what it is without your bucket-like support. Thank you. And if you would like to support what we do, please consider becoming a bucket at patreon.com/Coyote de la Mancha. And when you do, please let me know via email or Patreon message if there's a particular color in which you would like to have your name displayed. Alternatively, you can give a one-time gift at ko-fi.com/Coyote de la Mancha. And finally, a huge thank you to all of you who are circulating the links. The signal boost really helps. So, until next time, don't be a broom closet. Don't be a Stanley. Any chance you get, you know what I'm going to say. Be the bucket. And I will see you, gentle viewers and listeners, sometime again.